Good afternoon. My name is Tammy, and I'd like to welcome everyone to sewflysuniqueboutique. This is my tiny little corner of internet where I talk about my cross stitch, my quilting, my crochet, and whatever else I can get my hands on too. If you are new here, welcome, and I hope that you like and subscribe, and please come back week after week to see my progress. If you are a regular here, thank you so much for coming back week after week. You're awesome. You really are. Alright. I have done this like 3 times already because there were issues. Then I realized at the end, when I had it all done, that I forgot to turn my microphone on, so you wouldn't have heard it anyway. So, it's been a day. It has been a day. So, we can start again. Alright, I am not entirely sure where everything is, so you know what? We're just gonna grab stuff as we go and hope for the best. Okay. Alright, let's start with these. Okay, first off, let's start with my stained glass bee. This is a start, or a new start, or whatever you want to call them. I really don't care if they're new starts or whatever. I mean, new start probably sounds like an oxymoron, but you know what? That's okay. I'm good with it. Okay, where are you? Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, since my stained glass bee did not work out from 2x2 stitch art, I'm trying one from Lutheran Arts, and this one I had people vote on, and the blue was the one that got the most votes. So that's that. And then this is the stained glass bee from Lutheran Arts. I started it on Monday, June 9th. I'm stitching it on a 20 count white using the called for DMC. Now, my goal for this is 3,000. In total, there is 19,957 stitches, and I have completed 162, and I am at 0.84%. And there is the bee. You see the bee body right here, and this black right here is the outline, like the lead in stained glass. So far so good. I will be doing some more of this weekend because one of the prompts for Stitching by the Shores I Spy is a bee. That's all the prompts are. Okay. Oh. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go whoop, right that way. Okay, so last Friday was Full Coverage Friday. Every Friday, for me, anyway, is Full Coverage Friday. So, last week, I said that I would get my 400 stitches done on Dobby last week. So I did. Well, I got some and more. Let's put it that way. Alright, so Dobby is from Justin Cross Stitch. I started this on April 4th, 2025. I'm stitching this on a 20 count easy count Ada, and I'm using all the called for floss. Now my goal for this is 5,000. total number of stitches is 53,200. I've gotten 1,300 complete. It's actually pretty good. And I am at 2.44%. But the only color that I have complete, or at 13,000 stitches in, is 415. But that's okay. And here we are. There it is. And I got 456 stitches completed. Not much to look at, but you know what? You gotta start somewhere. If you don't start it, it won't get done, right? Okay. So, next thing. I started this squirrel. I have a picture of it. This is the squirrel. It's patterned by S.A. Stitch on Etsy. I started this on Sunday, June 8th. I'm stitching this on an 18 count petty point. I'm using the called for DMC, and my goal is 3,000. Okay. Now, there's 4,340 stitches, and out of that I've gotten 258 complete, and I am at 5.94%. And here's my little squirrel. Now, I also use this for I Spy, because not only was this on my wheel for a new start, it was, the prompt was stitch something that's squishy. Well, if you look at this sweater, that's all the green, it looks like a very comfy sweater. It's knitted out of yarn, wool yarn, and wool yarn is very squishy. Now, in the picture you probably saw his tail. His tail is kind of bushy, so I'm assuming that's kind of squishy too. That's my reasoning behind it. That is. So that's that. Alright, next. This one I've been thinking about for a while. I do have a picture, but these pictures don't come out well. So, this is the Deep Sea Quaker from Daily Pattern Post. I started it on April 22nd, 2025. Stitching it on a 25 count Illusion Blue Lugana. I'm using Sulky 4014. That is the color Ocean. My goal is 2,000. Now, this has a grand total of 9,684 stitches, and out of that, I have completed 1,441, and I am at 14.8%. This is not a very big sampler. Now, I think, when I looked at it the other day, there is one more little motif here, or we're starting the corner here and going down. So I finished up this middle motif. I worked on the bell, worked on the leaves, and I'm starting this little motif here. This will definitely be called out for other challenges, prompts, whatever I need it for. Okay. What should I do here? You I didn't open. You I did. Alright, now this is another one that I started, and this is also another ice bath. Picture did not come out very well, but we'll give it a shot. I know the deep sea one won't come out at all. This one might. Okay. This is by Daily Pattern Post. It's called Sampler Butterflies. And let me tell you, I'm loving it. It's very small. And if you look right here, this is where I started. There's between the corner, the middle, and then another corner. So it's only 3 motifs across, and they're not very large. Well, the one in the middle might be, but the rest of them, not too bad. So well, they call it the SS198 Butterfly Sampler by Daily Pattern Post. I started this on the 7th, which was Saturday. I'm stitching it on a 25 count fairy dust. And I'm using a Sulky 4111, which I do believe is Peacock. And I'm using, and the goal for this is 2,000. Now, if I get the 2,000, I might as well just finish it, because there's only 3,189 stitches. I got 321 stitches complete, and I am at 10.7%. And I have another one that's butterflies as well. It's about the same size, and I want it to go on this fabric as well. Look at that. Oh no, this is not Peacock. This is something else. I don't know what it is. Quite sure. But it's beautiful. My daughter did not help pick out the floss for this one. I did. My daughter helped pick out a floss for this one. Okay, there's that. Butterfly sampler. Now, what did I work on next? What is this? Oh. Alright. No, wrong thing. Like I said, it's been a day. Ever have, it's just one of those days where nothing goes right. That's what I feel like today has been like. Alright, next is the Halloween cup gnome. And I know I've got my gnome lovers out there. No, I do. So, this is my Halloween cup gnome. I do believe I'm working on his beard. That's where the start was. Okay. This is the Halloween cup gnome. It's from Favorite Gnome on Etsy or cuteembroidery.com. I started this on July 12th, which was yesterday. I'm stitching on an 18 count Heather Ada from Picture This Plus. I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 2,500 stitches. Now, it has a grand total of 10,799 stitches. I have done 232, and I am at 2.15% on my little gnome here. And he is definitely a ginger gnome. Red beard and all. There it is. This fabric is fabulous. It really is. These colors just go poop. So this will be, this is my start. So I will, I'm going to I could, save my, I think I might just save the spins that I did and find the stuff and show you. Okay, next. Alright, this is the other start that I did. This is the Summer Quaker by Jardin Frollick. Oh, you want to see that part. Okay. So I started this on Friday, and I'm using an 18 count Ariel from Pictures Plus. I got a big old happy art of it. I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 25,000 stitches, and where this is on a paper pattern, I'm just gonna, every time I work on it, I'm gonna count up my stitches and then add them on the back, so I know I get 2,500. I've completed 204 as of Friday. I gotta take that needle out because that's gonna bother me. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Yeah. Alright, and this is what it looks like. I am using, oh, I'm not using DMC, I'm using the I call it a sulky. And I do believe this one is the peacock. Let's see. The color is 4016, so yeah, I gotta fix that card. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably the color is peacock. And I love using variegated floss from monochromatics because it just gives it that extra oomph. In my eyes, anyway. I'm not a big, fabric person. I'm more of a floss person. Alright, here's that. Next, Wonderland Wednesday. I worked on Alice's Mad Plant from Bendy Stitchy. And this one, believe it or not, doesn't have much further to go. Well, it does and it doesn't. I started this on March 28th, 2025. I'm using an 18 count felt from Pictures Plus. I'm using the called for floss, and I've got 879 stitches as far as I know. I could be wrong. And then the first time. And here we are. I got the Queen of Hearts plant flower almost done. I just have to finish this part, because that part goes all the way down to the urn. The urn is a teacup, and then this one right here go up, and then that's where the white rabbit's face is, and then this is the top of the urn, and there's another one that comes out this way. It's got the top hat from the Mad Hatter. So that's it. It's very cute. It goes rather quickly, which I like. And I did get 200. When did I get on it? 219 stitches. So I think I did pretty good on that one. Yeah. Alright. For Motif Monday, I worked on Lila Studios Halloween Fair. And as for as long as I've had this, not as far as I'd like to be, but alright. Halloween Quaker by Lila Studios. I started it on April 11th, 2023. I'm stitching it on a 16 count jack-o'-lantern. I'm using the cult for floss. My goal for this is 3,000, and I've got a grand total of 508. And I've got to double check that the 508 got 200 got mixed into the 508. I don't think it did, but we'll see. But I did do the 200. And there are a few mistakes, but I'm making it work. I worked on this right here. So there's that. I love this fabric. This fabric is Extrude Designs. Awesome. If you've never used Extrude Designs before, I highly recommend it. If you're still doing fabric, I don't know. Okay. Motif Monday. Wondering Wednesday. Alright. Oh, we're on to temperature stitching, hopefully. Okay. Now, woke up one morning, checked the temp, and it was like 70, I believe it was supposed to be that day. So I'm like, okay, I know what I have to do. Well, it's not like have to, but 100 stitches on this is probably the best thing I could do for it. Nope, that's not it. Oh. Too far up. Yep. Who are you? Oh, Alice. Alice. Where are you, Alice? Good Lord. Oh, right there. This is the Quick Stitch Alice. The designer is Hannah Lynn and charted by Hayden. I don't buy a lot from Hayden, but every once in a while I'll buy a few of the older ones. So this is the Quick Stitch Alice. I started it on December 24th, 2024, stitching on an 18 count easy guide. I'm using the call for DMC. My goal is 3,000. Now, in grand total, this has 70,872 stitches. I have got 1,445 stitches, and I am at 2.4%. It may not look like a lot, but I've been doing a lot of the yellow in this area here and here. And I'm kind of, so if the particular color that I'm using is in any of these empty spots, I'll go and fill it in. But that's as far as I've gotten on that one. I think I've cornered the market on Alice in Wonderland. I think I might have. If anybody else wants any, you can't have them. They're all mine. I'm joking. So I got 114 stitches on that, believe it or not. I know it's full coverage, it doesn't look like a lot, but it does have. Alright, the other thing I worked on, I'm not going to pull up the picture, it's on my phone, is the pumpkin. I only got 100 stitches on it, and I need to get 600 more. So, what I am going to try to do, this thread floss right here is Classic Colorworks lobster claw. And let's put a card in here. This is the pumpkin by Tinsel Cross Stitch. I started this on June 26, 2023. Let's shoot for finish, shall we? This is done on 16 count white chocolate Aida. I'm using lobster claw, and I'm using a DMC 92 for the leaves and such. I have gotten a grand total of 1,142 stitches, and that was after I started it and started counting my stitches. So I'm working on this part. So if I can get 600 stitches in this before the end of the month, that'll be a great thing, and we'll see how close we are to a finish. Getting close to a finish, believe it or not. I really am. On something. Alright. There's the pumpkin. Okay. Then we have one of the days the temperature ended in the 6th. So I hauled out from the Heart Needle Art March Quicker, and I got 101 stitches on that. This one I started on February 3rd, 2024. I had grand plans of trying to finish one, starting it in the month before, like say I started January and December, didn't finish it until January. I started February and January, didn't get it done until February. So this one in February, hoping to get it done before March. Failed. I failed. But you know what? It's okay. I'm good with it. So I'm stitching it on a 16 count white ivory. I'm using the called for Classic Colorworks, and including the 101, I have 943 stitches done. And that was counting them. Yeah, not much. So I'm just going to show you this part. I did this over here, and I started this motif here. So, and this is what the rest of it looks like. So I need to finish this flower, and I need to mirror this over here. And I think that's it. Yep. This is the last piece I gotta finish up this motif here, and this is the last bit I gotta do. Do the urn and do the rest of the flowers and so on and so forth. I might even put well, my husband's birthday's in May. I mean March, so I might just put his initials. I don't know. We'll see. I might just not do it at all. Okay. So I need to keep that out till the end of the month. Alright, this next one is the turkey gnome. I love my gnomes. I love my gnomes, and I have so much fun working on my gnomes. I really do. I mean, I know gnomes aren't for everybody, and I understand that, and you'll probably get sick of me talking about my gnomes, but I love my gnomes, and I can't help it. They're so damn cute. That's all I can say. Okay. Where are you, Thomas? Yes. My turkey gnome is named Thomas the Turkey Gnome because I wanted to. I'll figure out names for the rest of them. But there is my little turkey gnome, isn't he cute? Oh, he's so cute. And I worked on him once. So he only got 128 stitches on him. And since I'm using the same colors for this one, and I believe the chamomile tea, I think, I just keep them both together. Thomas the Turkey Gnome started on May 27th, which was during my gnome frenzy. I'm doing him on an 18 count country mocha, and I'm using the called for DMC, and my goal for this is 2,500 stitches. Now, in total, he has 7,946. I have done the grand total of 661, and I am at 8.32% on my little gnome. Here he is. All this right here, that is the stem of the pumpkin that's on his lap. Working on the beard as well. There's that one. Okay, next. The Spring Quaker arrived, and I worked on it twice. Because number 3, today I think was 73, and yesterday was 83. I think. But I don't have a picture for this one, of course. Oh, why do I have 2 cards for the summer one? I have no clue, but that's the summer one, and I really need to fog it out. Figure out what I want. This is the Spring Quaker. I started it on April 25th, 2025. I'm stitching it on a 28 count Whisper 1/1. I'm using DMC 699, and the goal is 2,000. And as you can see, I'm just taking my amounts and adding them until I get 2,000. So I am at 1,567, and this is mine. Okay, so I did this the other day. I didn't finish it, and I finished up my little right there. Nope, wrong finger. This finger. I finished up some of my flour, and then I worked on this and started getting this in. So I got a grand total of 229 stitches on that one. So this will continue to be number 3 for temperature stitching. And once I get the summer one fixed, I'll put it on another month for temperature stitching. Let's see. Spring Quaker. Alright, and then 2 days in a row, we got temperatures that ended with a 1. So hold out my Wookiee. This is my favorite one. So Soft Wookie is by Amy Lee, and I restarted this on May 4th, 2025 for Star Wars Day. I'm stitching it on 18 count silver moon. I'm using the call for DMC. My goal for this is 1,000, and where it's on a paper, yeah, it's, they gotta add, subtract, whatever. So far I have 335 stitches complete. And I worked on the words. I got in Hairy Wookie. And then over here it says Sleepy Wookie. So I'm either going to go over here and do the Sleepy Wookie, or I'm going to move myself down this way and do the grr, grr, grr. And then I'll put some time in the Wookie, and then do some other letters and put some more time in the Wookie. So, because once the Wookie is done, the rest should just fly. And that's it on that one. So there's Soft Wookie. And I got 218 stitches in on that one. Alright. Nope. There it is, okay. Now, on Wednesday and Thursday, I recorded. Wednesday was my mid-year whip parade for 2025 part 1. And Thursday was my mid-year whip parade 2025 part 2. So in part 1, I decided to do A through K, because I have most of my whips alphabetized, except for my smalls and my full coverages. But all the rest of them are pretty much alphabetized. So, after I got done with my regular whips, I decided to go through my box of full coverage. So, when I hauled this one out, I was like, I have to do it. I just have to do it. Because it's been screaming at me for a couple weeks now. Do me, pick me up, please, please, please. And I did. I think it was my first, yes, it was the first Wonderland Wednesday of the month of June. But it wasn't enough. So, as soon as I find it here. Come on, where are you? I decided that I was going to do more. This is Alice in the Leap Hairs. The designer is Simona Candini, and it's charted by Thread Geeks. And I love it. I really love it, and I'm going to continue to work on it. So, Alice in Leap Hairs, I started on March 9th, 2025, on an 18 count easy count, using the call for DMC. Now, the total number of stitches is 63,504. I have completed 1,486. I am not putting this away until my goal of 3,000 is complete. I don't care how long it takes me, but I'm going to get 3,000 stitches on this before I put it away. And here we are. Now it may just look like it's just all black, but there are different shades of gray in there as well. And it may not look like 14,000 stitches, but it is. And what I am trying to do is fill in each square as I go, so I can do a diagonal this way. So, yep, that's what's going to happen. No, I love it. Let me put you here. Okay. Now, alright, next one is Harry Potter. I have definitely got to work on this one again, possibly this weekend, because I need to get another 300 stitches on it, because I missed the first week, so I gotta make up for it. Don't normally do things like that. Well, yeah, I kind of do, but it's just because there's Harry Potter. This is from Shushuda Designs on Etsy, and they have bigger ones. I just took the smaller one. I bought the smaller one. So, the Harry Potter sampler I started on December 5th because it was my Sunday stitch. So December 5th was the first day it snowed for the year for 2024. Stitching on, well, towards the end of 2024. Stitching on an 18 count easy count and using a call for DMC. Now, there's 5,760 stitches. I have completed 4,199 stitches. I don't have that much left. And I am at 72.9%, and I am like almost a third of the way through. More than a third of the way through. But so I worked over here. Right here. Still have a couple lines to do. So I was tired of doing orange. So I was like, okay, I'll go over here and put in gray, which is what I did. Did I put in just gray? Yes. Just the lighter gray to outline around the deer, the Patronus and whatnot, and then fill it in with white, and then it'll be all done. This is all filled in. But I need to buckle down and do the orange. Finish up the orange. So if I can get another 300 stitches this weekend, that would bring me very, very close to the end, I'm sure. So, there's my hair here. Okay. Alright. Then, I worked on my Snort Stack by Plum Street Sampler. Here's my three little pigs. Aren't they cute? Their snouts are just... they're adorable with that little hint of pink right at the end. Oh, they're so cute. But I am on this pig right here. And then I can work on the mound. And then once that pig and that mound is done, I can finish up the sides and any other little doodads, and it'll be done, and I will be so happy because then I can fully finish it. Alright, the Snort Stack by Plum Street Samplers. I started this on August 14th, 2023. I think I can get it done before August. It's possible. I'm stitching it on a 16 count French Country Latte Beta. I'm using all the colorful colors, and even though I started this before I started counting, so far after I started counting, I've got 1,221 stitches complete. And this is definitely slated for a finish. Here's my little bits. They're just too cute. Too cute. And I got 396 stitches done on this one. I was thrilled. So, with the 275 and 396, I got 600 and some change. And last but not least, I worked on this yesterday. I gotta remember to pick up my thread. Dropped it. I was so mad. I was just like, it was very frustrating. So, here is my Spring Quaker by Jardin Privé. So cute. I love the little bunny. I think the bunny is absolutely adorable. There's no bees on here, but looks like there could possibly be some butterflies. Oh, yep, there's one little bee. You can see the trail. So. Alright. So, I started this on May 27th, 2025. I'm using an 18 count Havisham, which I love. I'm using it also for Sophie's sheep, and the colors just pop right off it. I'm using Silky 4020, which is basically, it's camouflage. It's okay. Spring colors. My goal is 3,000. I've got 727 stitches so far. And here we are. So I worked on this up here. I got this little circle in. I worked on, this one, yes. I worked on that little diamond shape and this doodad. So I have to finish this one here. There's still a little bit left to go. But I'm trying to go across the top and then work my way down. So I know how wide it is. But generally what I do is I'll take the measurements of the stitched area that they give you on the pattern, and I'll go to 1 through 2, 3 stitch and use their fabric converter, and that usually gives me like 9 by 11, 8 by 10, something like that. And that usually works well for me. Then I get out my old square thing and take it from there. Alright. Okay. There's that. Alright. So I did have a little bit of stash. Just a little. I got my autumn squirrel. It's going to go in the same bag with my autumn acorns because they use basically the same colors. So they're companion pieces. And then, oh, yes, I bought a few things on Etsy. Should have done that. Just a few. Get off of there. Alright. I bought a couple of very small things for the ATC swap that Laura's putting on, and I've got to get them out and mailed to Delaware by August. So, those shouldn't take very long. This is a folk art ornament. Don't remember where I got it from, but and I changed the color because it was red, so I changed it to blue. And then I got the queen bee. The Mini Plague Doctor by Stitching Jules Designs. Don't ask me why. And then, now everybody, well, most of the people I watch are doing a Randall Spangler. One of the dragons. I know Siski is, I know Stuart Stitches, I know Kim Hollenbeck, I know there's a few others. Well, this is the mini Everything Tastes Better with Chocolate Chips. It's so cute. Oh. And then, and I don't shop on Heaven and Earth very often because I hear so many not so nice things. But, you know, I can spend my money wherever I want, and if I want to spend it on, you know, something like that, and I will. But I check them out really close to make sure nothing looks too funky. And this is from Lisa Parker, and it's called The Talisman. And I do believe that Andy the Crow Stitcher is also doing this one, but I think she's not doing the mini, she's doing the big one. But I think it's very cute. And then this is Quick Stitch Huggable, and it's also a Randall Spangler. Look at him! Isn't he adorable? Sitting there waiting for a hug in front of a cookie can. I mean, come on. He's so cute. I can't wait to start that one. And then this is also by Lisa Parker. It is the Mini Gothic Girl. Let's go back this way. That's the best it's going to get. But I love the ornateness of these. They're just so cute. And then, oh, I couldn't resist. Saw this, and this is called Pitbull. And you all know I have a Pit Mix. Look at that face. I mean, look at that face. What people do to these poor dogs makes me sick. Literally. Because it's not fair. It's not nice. They didn't ask to be fighting dogs. They didn't ask for you to think, okay, well, you know what, we're going to turn you into fighting dogs. They didn't ask for that. They didn't ask for heavy chains to be put around their necks. They didn't ask to be starved to death, so they will fight to the death. They didn't ask for that. You did that to them. Humans did that to them. And I just get annoyed. So, off my soapbox. Done. Alright, this is another one I found. It's called Halloween Pinup. Pinup Witch. And she is beautiful. Her face is beautiful. Her hair is beautiful. And I don't do fancy ladies. I don't like them. Speaking of, hello. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to the peoples? No? Okay. She's mad because her papa came home early and then he left. And my husband, he had to go visit his father. Alright, this is called Tears of Rogue. And this is from Xander Cogswell. No, Coswell. possible. That is a mixture of It, a female version of It, and Harley Quinn. And the Joker. More like a combination of Joker and Harley Quinn. Ugh, love it though. Love it, love it. And I got that Ink Circles mid-century, the first part from Ink Circles. And then I got this one. This is Alice in Wonderland, and this is from Stitchy Princess. First time I've ever done anything of hers. I think there's a lot of back stitching, so that's why there's a lot of that. And then I also picked up, I can't remember where I got this one from, but it's called Bear. PCP0075 Bear. Look at that. I love that. Oh. Love it. Love it, love it. So anyway, those are just a few, and I'm putting myself on another self-imposed no buy from July till August, September, October, November. Yeah, maybe in December. Yeah, no buy for the rest of the year after this month. So yeah. All right, now a couple of things. As you know, I did my wheels already, but next weekend is going to be Fancy Life Frolic weekend from June 20th to the 23rd. What do you mean, Tammy? What does that mean? Well, that means that you can work on anything that weekend that's fancy, like the fancy ladies, the Mirabilias, the Nor Corbetts, those reindeer that she has, you know, that are all fancy and got all the beads and treasures and whatnot. Anything, like, I like the fancy gothic frames. Those are my favorites. And I don't do fancy ladies. I'm not a fancy lady person, but okay, we got that witch. You know, the pinup. I have Lady Butterfly, which I absolutely love. I got that from Tinsel Cross Stitch. And it's going to take me a minute to find it. I mean, I can do fancy and creepy at the same time. You know, a lot of people think, why do you want to do that? Well, I happen to like that kind of thing. So, my fancy ladies are usually on the creepy side. But that's just how I do things. Oh, come on. Where are you? Found you earlier. Where'd you go? Well, it's gotta be around here somewhere. Ah, there she is. This is called Lady Butterfly. And it's monochromatic. And I love it. I love it. That to me is a fancy lady. Now, that might not be your definition of fancy lady, but it's my definition. This. Queen of Hearts. Oh, she looks a little gothic, but she's still fancy. Look at that dress. I could work on that. What else do I have here? This is the Gothic dollhouse, but look at the dress. Look at the hair. Look at the room. That's fancy to me. This is Miss Bugatti's Queen of Hearts. Look at her. Look at that frame. Look at the wallpaper. This is Wednesday Addams. Look at that frame. That's fancy to me. Maybe not the person inside, but that's fancy to me. And let me see. Anything else I got here that might be fancy. I don't do people. Just not a people stitcher. I'm more of the animal. Now, if I could, I do know where I can find some portraits of animals that are all dressed in clothes and whatnot. But it's generally not my thing, really. I guess that's it. Well, the mini Gothic girl. I mean, look at the frame. It's very ornate, very fancy. So, those are just a few of my ideas of what I want to do for Fancy Life Frolic. If you have ideas about what you want to do for Fancy Life Frolic, please comment below. If you're going to join me, let me know. I can even, pretty sure I can find a fancy gnome somewhere, but I'm not going to. I'm just joking. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, my goals for this, my plans and my goals are this. I was going to try something, but I think I'm going to wait on that one. So I gotta get 400 stitches on my woodcut raven, which I'm working on right now. I need to continue my temp stitching, and I need to start my overgrown autumn. I received the fabric today because I needed a huge piece. I didn't realize I needed that big of a piece. For the overgrown autumn, it's 450 by 450, so I needed a piece of 25 count that was 22 by 22. Oh, she's happy now. Papa is home. So anyway, so yeah. Hi, hello, hello. But I've got quite a bit of 25 count now, but I'm getting more. So I can start that now. What for my gnome? For my gnome, I'm gonna spin that again because I've got I gotta figure out what it is. And I'm not sure which autumn gnome I picked out. So we're gonna go with Tiny Decisions Wheels, and we are gonna go to gnomes, and we are. Oh, that was also a new start. So we're gonna do 2 different ones. Okay, here's the gnome. What is it? Frankenstein gnome. He's cute. Okay. Gnome of the week is Frankenstein. And I'll try to work on him sooner than later. Okay, now for the new start, let's see what we got here. Disney villains. Oh, that's huge. Yeah, we'll go with it. We'll see. Okay. Disney villains. How big is that anyway? Villains. 25 count is 14 by 17. I can do that. It's no problem. Not as big as I thought it was going to be. Alright. And then seasonal, we're going to switch out because I don't want to do any more Gotham designs right now. No. So, we're going to go for something else. And yes, I need to still work on my summer refreshers. Let's see what we get. Spring sampler. Alright. So still Gotham designs. Spring sampler. We'll put some extra stitches in. Now, I also decided that I'm going to make up a couple of extra wheels. One for 1,000 stitches, one for 3,000 stitches, and one for 5,000 stitches. Now, on these wheels, what's going to happen is they're not going to, those stitches aren't going to go anywhere until I finish them. We're still going to do the Motif Monday, the Motif Monday, Wonderland Wednesday, Full Coverage Friday, plus, you know, trying to get things finished. And when I get those stitches in is when I get those stitches in. I don't spin the wheel again until I get those stitches in. So, for the 1,000 stitches, oops, we're going to do 100 stitches. I might just change the wheel to 1,000. Rain. Yep, I know what that is. I don't even think that doesn't even have 1,000 stitches in it, but we'll try. We'll see. Okay. Now we're going to spin the 5,000 one twice. And I'm going to, yeah, because one for 3,000, one for 5,000. Mid-Century Garden. That's basically going to get finished. No, we're not going to use that one now. Autumn Quaker. It must be Jardin Palais, I think. Let me check something. Or we'll make make it Goffin Designs. Quaker. Alright, and the 5001. Will be Judge Not. So that'll basically get it finished. If I get 1,000 in there, wait a minute. I've been using the wrong wheel. Alright. Well, it's still gonna go 3,000 with the auto quaker. Alright, what's 5,000? Dragon Love 1. Okay. We'll see. That will be a new start. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to go with Copy Abstract instead. Because that one I'm starting next week. Or it needs to be started next week because I need to get 400 stitches on it for Book Coverage Friday. So I'm going to put Copy Abstract. Okay. So I don't have a picture of the Autumn Quaker. I don't have a picture of the Spring Sampler, and I don't have a picture of Rain right now. I gotta find them. I will put a picture of Coffee Abstract in the thumbnail. Now, 4. Silhouettes is Motif Monday, which I have right here. That's what I'll be working on. I did 200 stitches on that. And I'm doing this on an 18-count Cyprian. And I'm using 3799 and DMC 14. That's my starting point. I'll be hauling this out on Monday. Getting what I can get. There. Okay. Get you there. Then, for Wonderland Wednesday is QS Alice. You just saw that. That works for me. And then for the 20th, it's Noel. I will show you a picture of that. I do have a picture of that one. I just don't have the... Oh, I do have it in here. I think. So, but I'll just show you a picture. So you get the gist. Right there. Here it is. I've got the end complete. I'm either working on the house or the moon or both. I need to get 400 stitches in it anyway, so I think I'm going down. Working on the house. So it's got 3 lines. I thought it only had 2, but it's got 3. I like these little ones. And nope. This is Coffee Abstract. So that's the one I'm going to work on until I get 5,000 stitches on it. I don't even know how many stitches are on it. Let's see. 23,350. So yeah, 5,000 will be a good deal. Okay, and I still have to work on. I have to finish Snort Stack. I want to get another 300 in that, another 300 in Harry Potter, and I really need to get 300 in The Queen of Hearts by Lauren Dog. So I can say at least I participated in June Dog. And then I need to finish 500 stitches on the Jardin Privé Quaker, Summer Quaker, and 500 stitches on the Fox, and put some more stitches into Summer Refreshes. I got to 500, so anything else is gravy. But that's also one that I picked for finish. Alright, last but not least, I have a couple of gifts. I went through some of my old, not really old, but things that I've made and haven't sold. So I thought, what the heck, everybody could use project bags. So I'm sharing and gifting a couple of project bags to a couple lucky people. Okay. This is the Patriot butterfly bag, or patriotic butterfly bag. It has Velcro closure. You might be able to use this for like a large or medium iPad. I mean, I have a very tiny tablet. I don't need one this big. But if you have like a larger one and would like it, I'm using the word patriotic. You can either just use the word or use it in a sentence. Now the other one I've got is, this is the pine cone bag, and it's got two pretty sturdy snaps. I don't know if this will hold an 11 by 11 Q snap. Probably not. I'm pretty sure it might hold like one of those little square nudges, or the large nudge, because they're not that big, believe it or not. So it probably would work if you use the square nudges. And it comes with its own little thread bed. And since pine trees are the state tree of Maine, I would like you to use, for the pine cone project bag, the word Maine, M-A-I-N-E. Okay? And then for the butterfly gift bag, we use the word patriotic, P-A-T-R-I-O-T-I-C. Okay? So if you're interested in them, you can use the words by themselves, or you can get creative and use them in a sentence. So other than that, that's all I have. This will be going up tomorrow. I hope you had a lovely Friday the 13th. Hello. Hello, ma'am. And that you have a wonderful stitchy weekend and a lovely stitchy week. And I hope to see you on Friday. So, happy stitching all. Keep on stitching on, everybody.